He be talking about, I'm the best three-point shooting big man in the history of the world. It's like, bro, we don't give a get your ass in the paint, you feel me, and grab a damn board.
But I do want to just say, like, you doing the RuPaul, like, ain't nothing about to, on Cat, that's mad disrespectful. That's mad disrespectful.
That's 3 snaps in Z formation. That boy Cat be out there zesty as hell. What's the Leonardo DiCaprio movie where they was dreaming? You look like you got that going on, right? Inception.
Was that about the dream?
I think it was a dream within a dream.
I'm just trying to be like you, Jew. Honestly, plus, like, let's be honest, between us, it's just me and you on this, right? It's just nobody else is listening. I need to get my eyelashes redone, and so you don't even know. I got to get a little swaggy out just to say I woke up like this. And it's like, well, no, you didn't. You went to a salon and had them glue the mink shit on your eyes just so you can try to look glam. It is what it is, Chu.
Yeah, it is what it is. Detroit basketball versus I don't know about your New York Knickerbockers. I know you love the Blazers, but you're a former New Yorker, so you know what's going on in those streets. Talk about this series. Where's this series putting you mentally?
Well, I think I have to say I didn't imagine that I would be rooting for the Pistons as much as I am. When I was watching Game 3, I really wanted Detroit to win that game. I'm just very tired of the true blue Knicks fans being like, Knicks in 5, Knicks in 5. And you know who I'm talking about. You know who I'm talking about. We got friends that are like, Karl Anthony Towns in the corner like he's selling weed sacks. It's like, no. Karl Anthony Towns is walking like he is on a treadmill at 2 miles an hour is what Karl Anthony Towns is doing. We were at Game 1. Yep. And I think that was when I was like, oh, yeah, I don't really like this team. And I think Tobias Harris said it best when they said, what's the difference between this year's Knicks team and last year's Knicks team? And he's like, oh, it's a whole other situation over there. They got a different composure. Basically, he was trying to say Cat and them are soft. Right? Yeah. And we can bully those boys around. And that's what they're going to try to do. They're going to try to see them in the back dark alley with a sock full of nickels. And you know what I mean? That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to rough them. Cat. Yeah, the bodega cat. They're like, we're going to chop cheese on him right now. Put him on the hibachi. And I don't know if you saw it. They probably should have messed around and lost that game. The Knicks. They had 0.5 seconds left to go. Jalen Brunson shoots the free throw and misses intentionally. It goes up in the air. No one touches it, right? And then it's like, oh, that's a violation. You can't do that, actually. Now all the Pistons have the ball, and so everything you were trying to do, you just failed at. And also, Jalen Brunson probably should have had a backcourt violation. So it was shaky. Good for the Knicks for having a gritty win on the road. But I think this thing has all kinds of ups and downs and side roads and little, like, story side. You know what I mean? This thing could go 7.
Right. It's all according to which cat are we going to get from a night-to-night basis. Are we going to get the bodega cat who got, like you said, got the weeds in his back pocket, walking up the court, sagging with his Timberlands on, getting back when he wants to, as he did in the game that we saw, Game 1? Or is he going to be this guy who's just got all the energy, long-range cat, in the paint, posting up, you feel me, like getting the job done cat? If he show up, it's going to be trouble for them Detroit Pistons every night because who can really stop him in that mode? But that's been Cat's whole entire career. If you play like that and stop trying to get the fouls and stuff. You feel
what was
me?
that again?
Stop with all that, then, bro, you are the most dominant big man in the game. Every game you play in, he be talking about, I'm the best three-point shooting big man in the history of the world. It's like, bro, we don't give a get your ass in the paint, you feel me, and grab a damn board. But yeah, he stepped up. I got to keep respect on his name for the last game, and respect on the Detroit scoreboard operators. You feel me? They tried to keep Detroit in the game. They said they put the clock on 0.5 and let it go. They're like, oh, oops, our bad. I guess it's our ball on the side.
I do want to just say, like, you You doing the RuPaul, like, ain't nothing about to, on Cat, that's mad disrespectful. That's mad disrespectful.
That's 3 snaps in Z formation. That boy Cat be out there zesty as hell. Salute to Cat. I ain't gonna do you like that, bro. You're getting it done in the playoffs. One of the biggest surprises in the Detroit locker room has been Dennis Schroder. Like, bruh has stepped up and been that guy who, when Tim Hardaway is having a bad night or when Malik Beasley take all game to get his shot together, Schroder been consistent, you feel me? Talk about the consistency up and down that Pistons roster, even though they down 2-1 right now.
Well, what's crazy to me is that we had this Pistons team win 17 games last year.
Yeah.
And they didn't add a lot. And in fact, one of the players in Jaden Ivey isn't even playing. Right?
Damn.
And so he's out for the rest of the season with an injury. But you add Dennis Schroder, who, by the way, NBA champion, played for the Lakers, fumbled the bag, as we know, back in the day. Also, a German monster in FIBA, so we know him. But, he's just kind of a role player. They add Tim Hardaway Jr., who was getting put on the Twitter streets, getting cooked out there because he was just falling back in the rotation when he was playing for the Mavs. They wanted to get rid of him. They couldn't trade him. He ends up going. You got Malik Beasley, who's kind of been a role player, who's been a three-point shooter. But none of these guys were guys we thought. Tobias Harris, who was rejected and hated by the Philadelphia fan base for many years because that famous line, "You chose Tobias Harris over me, over Jimmy Butler." So you add these guys that we didn't have any clue how they were really going to fit into the picture, right? They needed shooting. They needed some veteran leadership, but are these the guys that can get that job done? And now you're in a war with the Knicks in the first round. So you're right. J.B. Bickerstaff deserves the mantle for Coach of the Year. And Dennis Schroder, actually, in the game that me and you watched, he barely hit his point prop. We had 7.5. Right. He had 8 in game 1. And then finally became the Dennis Schroder we knew he could be. 20 points in game 2. 18 points in game 3, shot 3 and 4 threes respectively. So we just need more from the role players if you're the Detroit fan, that's what you need. You need Tim Hardaway to hit all those threes like he did in game 1. And you need game 2, and you need game 2 Cade every game. You can't have the lights are too bright for me.
Right, bro. If we could have had a camera on us at a random spot in the fourth quarter when Dennis Schroder hit his points out of nowhere, we've been quiet the whole game. Both of us like, there we go, good shot, Dennis. Well, like, man, what the hell? Right, I thought y'all were rooting for the damn Knicks. But moving on, you feel me, to the other series. Oh my goodness gracious alive, Ja Morant goes down with an injury. They was up at least 974 points when he went out. They had the Memphis rocking. I think I seen Project Pat. I seen Juicy J. I seen Zach Randolph. They had that thing rocking for 3 quarters, 2.5 quarters. And then the Thunder put the hat on and said, we still are those guys and them boys. And then, sadly, fall down 3-0 the Grizzlies did. And insult the injury, Ja Morant out for game 4 as well. Talk about this series, sis. What the hell can the Grizzlies do?
I don't know how you emotionally come back from that loss. Right. You're up 29 points. You're up 26 points in the first half. You're putting belt to ass. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, probably who's going to win the MVP, is doing nothing. You're basically getting production from everybody. Scottie Pippen Jr.'s out there doing his thing. You know, you got Desmond Bane out there doing his thing. Ja barely had to do much. He had 15 at that point. And so as soon as Ja goes down, you kind of knew. I think even when it was a 20-point game, I was like, man, I think OKC's going to win this game. And I was watching the Clippers game at that point because there was some crossover, and I was like, well, F this OKC series. They're just beating the hell out of them. I don't want to see destruction to this level, so I'll go and watch the Clippers Nuggets series, which is much better. Right. And then I'm like, OKC just cut that to 9. I should probably go back over here. I'm like, if they cut it to 9, they're going to win this game. And Alex Caruso, the thing that kind of crushes crushes fans is you've been putting Alex Caruso in the hyperbaric chamber pretty much all season. He was just not anywhere to be found. He's on a milk carton, right? And you're like, is Alex Caruso hurt? And they're like, no, baby. We got a plan here. Don't you worry about us. And now Alex Caruso's over here playing 30-something minutes a night, playing strap down, put you in the seat belt, put you in your bassinet, put the what's that pacifier in your mouth kind of stuff.
Wiping noses. He was guarding Jaren Jackson Jr. one-on-one and
making
winning
Jaren
the battles.
look silly.
Come on, bro. You can't go against Alex Caruso and then look like that when you're 12 feet tall. Alex Caruso looking like Elmer Fudd from Space Jam with the headband on. Like, salute to the boy. But bro be out there doing a lot of work that you would think like, bro, do you just got a couple of games of this per year, or can you just turn it on for us in a random Tuesday in January? You feel me? But up and down the roster. The callers be calling in with the great takes,
I love calls.
Great questions, you feel me? We gonna load some of them up and answer some of them guys with my sister right now. Miss Rebecca, load us up, sis.
Juju, it's Graham from Seattle. Here's my crazy take. Steph Curry is the GOAT. He doesn't have the physical gifts that LeBron or Jordan has, but he's far more technically skilled at the game than, honestly, either of them. And he is, not to say he's not a great athlete, he is, but he's just not the otherworldly level that those other two are. And that's my take. Steph Curry, GOAT.
Steph Curry, salute to Seattle, man. Y'all boys. You feel
What
me?
is going on? What is going
Crowd
on? I got an ad.
Crowd going wild for that tape, brother. My brother Simeon. Look, I think Steph Curry is one of the GOATs just because you got little kids, you got adults, you got doctors walking around wearing Under Armour shoes, bruh. I never thought I'd see the day when them ugly-ass shoes would be as popular as they are. Them things be coming in pinks, yellows, it don't matter. Folks gonna buy them and eat them up. So for that, you, sir, are the GOAT to me. What you think, sis?
You think Curry is the GOAT? This is a joke take.
I gotta take it with a grain of salt because of course I don't think he's the GOAT, but I'm gonna give him a little bail money.
What I will say is the things that Jordan did around the rim are just absurd. And his body control was crazy. Yeah. His athletic ability, obviously above the rim, was insane. Change of direction, handles, but more importantly, his defense, right? And so you even go back and watch him today. This guy I can tell is like a Gen Zer. He's like because he needs to go to YouTube and check out some Jordan highlights because what you see that Jordan does is just more impressive. Now, I will say that Steph Curry, he's one of the most unrealistic players because he'll get draped around and then all of a sudden he shoots, gets open somehow, or maybe doesn't, and you're like, oh yeah, even from the logo, that's going in. Doesn't matter when, doesn't matter how much they're down. There's nobody that instills this much hope, if you're a fan, than Curry does. You could be down 15, 20 points, and you're like, all Steph Curry needs to do is shoot 5 threes, and he can do that in 30 seconds. If you guys don't score every time down, he will heat check you. And so to that end, this guy probably is from San Francisco, probably didn't grow up when Michael Jordan was in his prime. I was right at the tail end of it. But Michael Jordan, when you go back and watch him, I think you just kind of see what he's able to do. But I would say Steph Curry's very much up there. Just would not put him in front of LeBron or Jordan. And I will say this, if it wasn't for Kevin Durant and it wasn't for Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving getting injured, I think probably the Warriors don't have any rings.
Oh, now there's a take. You feel me? 0 rings for my boy. Look, in Trysta record book, them boys ain't got no damn rings. So take them all away. You feel me? Anything you want to tell the people on the way out?
What I will say is this. Me and Ju met each other in the Super Bowl media area in the Phoenix Super Bowl. And
Yep.
Juju's over there looking like he doesn't really belong in the media section. I'm all iced out. I got my sunglasses on. I think I was rocking some J's. And so we looked at each other like, hey, you
Right.
also don't look like the rest of these guys. These, like, sort of sloppy, sort of, like, very pasty white journalists. What's going on here with you? Jude's like, I work for Meadowlark. I'm like, oh, I do a betting show. And it's been like this ever since. And now we just rock together.
Legitimate. But stay tuned next time, man. We're going to be back next week. Same bad time, same bad channel. You diggers.